Hi, welcome to the Man in the Kitchen. I'm Levon, this is my kitchen. Today we're gonna be making fish. It's a perfect summer dish. We're gonna be making a whole grilled red snapper. Maybe not grilled, we're gonna broil it. Okay, that's the word, broil. This is how we're gonna proceed. We got the red snapper here. We're gonna stuff it with onion, parsley, lemon. We're gonna salt it, season it with paprika, olive oil, and then we're gonna do it on a bed of all these beautiful vegetables. Yellow zucchini, we got some green pepper, got some red onion. We're just gonna mix it up. That's gonna serve as our garnish or whatever. The dish is gonna be beautiful. It's gonna look like a rainbow, or a firework, coral reef. You gotta make it epic. How do you make it epic? You grill the whole thing. You got the head in there, you got the fin in there, everything in there. You got the cheeks over there. The cheeks on the fish are like hidden gems. They're just so mwah, mwah. What we're gonna eat it with are these incredible potatoes. The most out of this world roasted, not roasted, fried potato. Anyways, we're gonna boil them first, mix them up with some butter, and then we're gonna fry them in a lot of oil. It's gonna be these fried potatoes that are they're all soft inside, but on the outside they got these crispy bits all over the place. They're just unreal. They're gonna carry this whole dinner. Actually, no, that's not true. No, I'm sorry, Snapper. I'm sorry. The fish is nice. They go hand in hand together, obviously, fish and chips. That's what we're gonna do, and let's get to it. Before we kick things off, do you want to feel good about yourself for the rest of the day? Go ahead and drop a like, drop a subscribe. You'll feel good, I'll feel good, we'll all feel good. Thank you so much. So what are we gonna need? So you're gonna need, obviously, a whole red snapper. You can do this with most fish, like ocean fish or sea fish. Red snapper would probably be good. What else is there? Obviously not like a sea urchin. We're gonna need a red snapper, we're gonna need some vegetables. Now, I got some zucchini, some peppers, some red onion, and then you're gonna need potatoes, like 6 of them. If you have something else like beans or squash maybe or whatever, you don't even need to make this bed, but it does look really nice. And you know what, dinner should look really nice. To kick things off, we're gonna marinate the fish. This is a big fish. Obviously they're bigger fish, like the great white shark. That's a pretty big fish, but we're not cooking that today. We got this fish, it's so you can't fit too much in there. So I got about half a tomato, half a lemon, a few slices of onions. Just gotta chop these things up into these slices or rings or whatever, something they can fit inside. Cut off a few slices of each. We're gonna put that in the fish. Do yourself a favor, ask your fish person or the supermarket or whoever to clean the fish, all right? Cleaning the fish includes cutting it, getting all the stuff from the inside out, and descaling it, and then cutting the fins. You don't wanna do any of this stuff, trust me. It turns your whole house into a mess. Anyway, here I got a nice clean fish. Almost though, because you see these fins? They're super sharp. It's really easy to poke yourself against them. Before you know it, you're bleeding. Don't pull a Sleeping Beauty, don't touch them. Try to get a pair of scissors, lift them up and do a little snip. All along, just get them off there. Along the back, you have some along the bottom. And you also have a few fins over here. Now those are not really sharp, so those we can leave there. They're actually pretty fun to eat. I've made this baby safe, baby proof, very nice. What we're gonna do is just take a knife and we're gonna make 3 slices on the fish. On both sides, easy. Don't cut too deep. You're not trying to decapitate this fish right now, all right? We're doing that just to make it cook faster, but also to season it inside of it, That's all. We're gonna salt the fish. We're gonna put a bit of pepper on, open the tummy, put some salt in there, put some pepper in there, give it a nice massage. Once that's done, we're gonna take the onions that we just cut up, the lemon, parsley, and the tomato. Just stuff it in there. I need to play a bit with how much exactly you're putting in there. Start with the lemons because those are the more important things. Then go with the onion. Tomatoes are, if you don't have room, you can skip the tomatoes. Definitely want some parsley in there because it just adds a freshness, aroma. Anyways, parsley is just nice with the fish and it makes it look nice. There's no green. Get the parsley in there. We gotta complete that rainbow. Before we get to the potatoes, we're gonna make that vegetable bed. Depending on what veggies you have, just chop them up into chunks, whichever way you know how. So I chopped up that zucchini, I chopped up that onion, chopped up that pepper, spread it all around the fish, sprinkled it with some paprika, some olive oil on top, kind of gave it a nice little stir with my hands. Laid the fish in the middle, 2 slices of butter, and stick it into those slices in the fish. Butter has never ruined anything. Like, name one thing that will be worse off with butter. Go ahead, I'll wait. Trust me, it's gonna be amazing. Nice and roasty, nice and buttery. Our fish is ready to go. Look how great it looks. So once our fish is prepped, we're just gonna set it aside, go turn on our oven. You want the oven on broil, okay? Because we want that heat coming from the top. We're not gonna bake this, all right? We're gonna broil it so that we get a nice char on the bottom. That's my favorite way of eating fish. I like it smoky. It kind of adds this epic vibe to it. Like, you sit down, you feel like you're a freaking Viking, like, hey, yo, give me my fish. Somebody brings you that fish whole off the fire, char, you just gotta dig in there with your hand. You know, that feels kind of cool. That's how I can eat a fish. So that's why we're gonna broil it. Meanwhile, we can prep the potatoes. So the potatoes are gonna be done in 2 steps. Step 1, boil them to like 80%, all right? Where they're pretty much done, but you know, they should be a bit hard so that they don't turn into mashed potatoes. We're not making mashed fried potatoes. We're just making fried potatoes, fried fluffers. Ooh, fluffers. Point, all right? You heard it here first. We're calling these fluffer potatoes. Roasted fluffer. Ooh, fried fluffers. Roasted fluffer, fried. Deep fried. Butter fried fluffer. Butter fried fluffer. BFFs. Butter fried fluffer, all right? That's what we're calling these potatoes. You don't like it? Butter fried fluff. Okay, you know what? I don't like it either. These potatoes, I do like fluffers though, because they're fluffy. Like, they're fried fluffers, FFs. We got these FFs going. So get your potatoes, peel them, get a peeler going. Hopefully you get one of those so you can go both ways. Like, it's not one of the ones that's like a fork. It's like, you know, a stick. It goes both ways. So go one way, then go the other way. That's a pro tip. Twice as efficient. Wins. There you go. Peel the potatoes, give them a nice rinse to get all that extra crap off, and then just chop them into cubes. You know, whichever way you know how. But keep in mind that we're gonna be frying them after, and you're gonna have to mix them. So obviously don't like throw in a whole potato in there. Once you chop it out, just get a nice pot. Don't get a huge one because it's gonna take forever to boil. Cover the potatoes, just enough water to cover them. Put it on the stove, turn on the heat, and we wait until they boil. So once we got the potatoes going, we're gonna get our little tray of rainbow and we're gonna stick it into the oven. So you're gonna leave it in there until the skin starts to crisp up, and we're gonna take it out, flip it, get going. So at this point, we got a little lull period. So what do? Hit the like button, we hit the subscribe button, we get a nice thank you from me, thank you, and maybe we watch another video. So at this point, it's been like 15 minutes or so. You guys know I suck with timing. Maybe it was 10 minutes, maybe it was 20. I took a look at the potatoes, they're boiling. They've been boiling there for some time. I took a fork, this is how you test it. Take a fork, stick it through. Want to meet a bit of resistance, but not much. The fork should go through, in and out pretty easily. If that happens, take the potatoes and pour the water out. Put the pot back on the stove and get a nice big slob of butter and throw it in there. Look at that butter go. Potatoes and butter. Name a better combination. You can't. I can't either. Actually, steak and butter is pretty good too. So look at those potatoes go. Just give them a nice mix. Make sure they're all buttery. We're doing this so that they soak in some of that butter and kind of begin to soften up a bit. We want them to soften up a bit and get those tips nice and buttery, so that when we put them into a pan to fry, they're not like whole, even potatoes. We want those like bits around. We want a bit of that fluff. That's why they're called fluffers. They're not potatoes, they're fluffers. So we want some of that fluff all around. Gets nice and crispy, gets nice and edgy. There's some texture. It's gonna be awesome. Once that happens, get a second pan, heat it up with some olive oil to high heat, all right? Like medium high heat. Once it gets there, take all the potatoes and put them in that pan. Here's the key to perfect fried fluffers. The key to that is to stir them as little as possible, because if you start stirring them, they're gonna start breaking up. What you wanna do is let that crust form before you stir them. because when the crust forms, that crust is not gonna break as easily, so it's much safer to stir. Leave them there for like 10 minutes, and after 10 minutes, we're gonna give them a stir. At this point, we went ahead, checked the oven, rainbow on top, it's turned nice and crispy. So we're gonna take it out, carefully flip it. Right now it's very fragile, so be careful. Get a nice big spoon, 2 of them, hold it on one side, and with the other one, just do like a little and then just plop, plop. All right, there you go. I'm great with sounds. So once you plop it, it's gonna go back in the oven because look at that side. That side is all not beautiful. You know, it's not nice. So we're gonna put it back in the oven so that that side can get just as beautiful, just as crispy. And again, we got about 10 minutes. There's not much else for you to do but grab a drink and just chill. 10 minutes in, the potatoes are nice and crispy on that one side that was down. So at this point, just give them a stir and just a few stirs, you know, like we just want to get that other side in now. And we're again going to leave them in. And we're going to repeat that cycle until they eventually get golden all around. This is the perfect time to season them a bit. So we're going to take a sprinkle of paprika and just go whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And also, of course, some salt. It's going to give them a nice color and it's going to give them a bit of flavor. This there took me, you know, like 20-25 minutes or so. Look how like amazingly golden they are. They already look crispy, little bits falling off, those going there, a little fluff, a little fry, like a fried fluff. It's amazing, all right? At this point, they've all formed up. They're all roasted on all the sides, so they're not as easily breakable, so we can start stirring them a little more. We wanna deepen that color on all sides without actually burning them. All the while, we gotta keep an eye on the fish in the oven so that it also doesn't end up burning. All right, guys, so here we are. We're about 30 minutes in, 25 minutes in. The fish has been laying on each side for about 15 minutes. At this point, the other side is also nice and roasted, so we're gonna pull it out and just look how gorgeous it looks. That's what I mean when I say the fish has to look epic, beautiful. It's got that char, it's got all those colorful vegetables around. It's got that oil glistening, it's got those cuts going. I would wanna eat this. Red snapper is an awesome summer dish, and it looks super impressive. It's a great for dinners. It looks like summer. It feels like summer. It's super light because it's fish, so it's just really beautiful. Now, here's a disclaimer. This fish, it's a whole fish. It hasn't been filleted. It's got bones. So please be careful when you eat this fish. Make sure you feel it out, like just no bone, all right? Here's our whole roasted fish and chips type of thing. So to serve, what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut across, and then we're gonna cut across again, and we're gonna kind of just pick up that fillet, the whole side of the fillet, and put it on a plate. That thing still's got some bones, some, but much fewer, right? It's really easy to actually separate it from the bone, which is really nice. We're gonna get some vegetables on there. We got some of those fried fluffers, and just enjoy. Man, I love beautiful dinners. Dinner has to feel great. You wanna sit down, you feast with your eyes, you feast with your stomach. It's just really great. Thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you gave this a try, leave your thoughts in the comments. Drop a like, drop a subscribe if you liked it, and I'll see you next time.